You know, I got started in steelhead fishing when I was about 8 years old. My dad used to take me up to the Deschutes River, and God, I got hooked on it, and it's been a lifetime sport for me. It's a lot of fun. They're a wonderful fish, and you know, a steelhead is a sea-run rainbow trout. So they're pretty much on the west coast and in the Great Lakes area. Like the west coast fish, they use the ocean to go out and to grow up and then come back in. And in the Great Lakes, they use the big lakes there, and they're just like an ocean. They're rich with food, and actually the fish back there are fatter than our fish on the west coast. But steelhead fishing's been a great passion for me, and I love the challenge of it, reading the water, the elements of winter, spring, summer, fall, different low water, high water, off color. All of those things, when you put it together and you hit a good day on steelhead fishing, you just can't beat it. There he is, fish on. Woohoo! Nice bright one. Got to pick up my slack as soon as I can here so I can get them on the reel. There. That was great. Didn't take too many casts for this guy. I don't know if it knows it's hooked yet. The take on the drift there was a little bit soft. There it goes. Okay. And it wasn't like a savage hit, so he picked it up on the drift. But I felt a little tug there, so I immediately set the hook and picked up the slack. That's a nice bright female, or hen. I'm gonna have to turn around for this one. The key in this steelhead fishing is getting your fly down to them, especially in the wintertime when the water's so cold. The fish aren't as apt to come back up and take your fly. So if you can, what I'm using here is our heavy sinking lines to get down near the bottom. Just want to get this fish in here in the shallow water here so I can get her up so I can release her, but she's still got a little spunk to her. There we go. All right. And I've got that landing hand. I might just even try that. Very nice condition fish. I've got the our ginger teeny egg sucking leech on. It's in a larger size number 2. It's got the orange head on it. This is a time when you normally lose them. If you're going to lose them, as I did. This is a nice female. Whoops. Let's see if we can do that again. Okay, I'm going to get that fly out. I got my barb down. So that shit, there it goes. Nice fish, very pretty fish. And well, what's typical of steelhead is that lateral line there and the little rows on the cheek patch there, and you can see this is a female. See the smaller head, the short rounded, which indicates it's a hen or a female. So it's just a beautiful fish, and there she goes. She's ready to go. There. Yeah. The key thing to getting these fish, what I've done here is I've got our saltwater line. It's works both in fresh and saltwater, but it's 750 grains, so it's the heaviest sinking line we've got. What I did was I took from the end of the fly line here, which is right here, I've only got about a 4-foot leader to the fly. So I'm only using a leader of about this much in length, and when that line hits the water, it starts to sink immediately. And when it does that, it drags that fly down and keeps that fly down a lot longer for a much better presentation for a longer period of time. So consequently, by using the short leader, I'm getting my fly down to where the fish are and getting to fish the water a lot more effectively. So I think that's what I'm going to try again and see if there's another one out there. One thing you'll find out about steelhead is that when you find one, there's probably more because they oftentimes will school up. So when you find good holding water for steelhead, you want to keep fishing it because making different casts shorter, further, upstream, downstream, covering the water well, and you'll probably get more fish. Oops. Just keep working this water. The reason I'm fishing over there, and I'm trying to get that far bank, trying to cast over there, it's a little bit of a cut bank and it drops, and I think it's good holding water for the steelhead. So I'm going to try to cast a little bit upstream of it, allowing it to sink and get down, and then to dead drift by the fish. By dead drift means I'm not giving the fly any action, I'm just letting it go natural with the current. And then on the swing. I could pick them up on the drift or the swing or sometimes the hang down if they're following it. I want to cover this water, and from one spot you can actually cover a lot of water. I can cast further upstream, I can cast downstream and feed out a little bit of line so I can make longer drifts and swings. But I want to carefully work over every bit of this water because I think there's more steelhead out here. Watercolor is very, very nice here. Very, you know, it's got a steelhead green. I'm carefully following my line with my rod tip as it's drifting down because I want to be as direct. Whoops, I might have just missed one there. I want to be as direct to the fly as I can. So that's why I've got my rod tip low and letting it swing with the current and drift right down there. Now I've got our ginger, the teeny egg sucking leech on, but if I make a few more casts and I feel like I've covered this water, you know, pretty good, I'm going to change the color or size. Whoops. I think we got more fish out there. When the steelhead first come into the rivers, normally they're just really chrome bright, just beautiful, brand new, fresh. After they've been in the river for a little while, they'll start to turn colors and they'll look more like a rainbow trout. They'll start to get the red stripe and the cheek patches and then maybe get more spots on them, and you'll notice the change. Doesn't mean that they're a less of a quality of fish for a while, but that's just one of the transitions that they'll do during the course of their cycle in the fresh water. Our West Coast salmon, the Pacific salmon, they come up into the rivers and then they spawn and they die. But a steelhead, when they come into the rivers and they spawn, they'll be able to live and go back out again. So they don't, after they spawn, they don't die. Whoops, man, I got a lot going on down here. Huh, getting some strikes. This is good. Yep, it is. Fish on. Fish on. Man, oh man, this one might be a little bigger. There. Wow. I've been getting a lot of hits out there. Oh yeah, this one's got a little color too, but nice fish. Wow. I'm trying to keep as much pressure as I can on this fish. So I'll keep the rod low like this. I may not be able to stop this guy though. Wow. Playing, oh, there he goes, he's off. He was going to leave that area there. Playing big fish fighting them, there's a lot of strategy to it. How you hold your rod and your angles, and if given the chance here, I'll show you on bringing some of these fish in and keeping them in control. Now that one there was pretty tough, and it was going to go downstream, but the hook just came out. You know, there's a lot of different ways to fish for steelhead. Quite a few of the people are using like a floating line and a strike indicator and split shot. And I prefer, in waters that you can fish it well, I like to just use our sinking lines and short leaders, because it's so much cleaner and easier to present the fly, and you can cover the water in many different ways. Instead of one standard way, there's a lot of different approaches you can make to a piece of water with just a sinking line and the fly. I also really like to use non-weighted flies, because I think they have more natural action in the water than a weighted fly. There's times when weighted flies are extremely effective because they get down quickly, but for the most part what we're trying to do here is to get the line to do most of the work and most of the fishing and presentation of your fly. And so it's done better with a non-weighted fly because it swims more natural in the water. And what I like to do is think about how my line's coming down there and how my fly is actually swinging, drifting, and presenting it to the fish. I try to think of what that fly is doing in my concentration, and also I've got the line, I'm holding it through these two fingers, and this is my sensitivity point is right there. So as that line and fly are drifting, if anything stops it, a rock or a limb or a fish, I can feel it in my fingertips here, tighten up my line right there, and then set the hook. What I'm doing here is I'm just roll casting this line out, trying to control it like this, and I'm following that line as it's coming down, but this is real easy to cast to get distance, and it's just kind of a roll and shoot. And I'm following that line with my rod tip as it goes downstream. And I just changed my fly to one of our black egg sucking leeches. We'll see how that does. I like to fish the waters with several different colors, so if there's any fish out there, sometimes a new color will trigger a strike right away. In the Great Lakes, for example, we do good on the ginger and the natural, the insect green, the hot green. Those are probably the best colors over there. Sometimes we'll, oops, there he is, a beautiful fish too. Oh man, this is a nice one. Oh, he's gone. Man, oh man, oh man. Huh. Well, no, I got my fly. Wow, that was cool. With a shooting head, there's really not a lot of back cast, or usually it's a single false cast, and then you just either roll it out or single false cast and shoot it. And we'll show you that later. But heads are deadly effective for the steelhead and salmon.